G'day guys, Andrew from Evo here. So what I'm going to be doing today is I'm going to be swapping out my Evo 9 front calipers for Evo 10 units. The advantage with this is the Evo 10 calipers allow you to use a bigger rotor, 350mm rotor, as opposed to the 320mm rotor that the Evo 9 uses on the front end. Not a massively difficult job to do. It's actually pretty simple, just a few things that need to be taken care of first, and the main problem is, or the main mod needed is, you need to drill out the bolt holes for the Evo 10 caliper to 14mm. So the standard Evo 9 at 7, 8, possibly 6, maybe all of them, I'm not sure, use a 12mm bolt. And then when they went to the bigger rotor on the Evo 10, they went to a 14mm bolt. So they're a hardened cast steel attachment point on the hub for the caliper to attach to. So I'm going to drill those out from 12 to 14mm. So there we go. I've got a few Viper drill bits, good quality HSS drill bits, so hopefully it'll go okay. Just shave down the front of them one so it doesn't bite as hard, slow RPM, lots of cutting fluid on there just to let it go through. So I'll be doing the 4 holes, two on each side on the front, and then I'll be installing a set of these. So these are a set of Evo 10 front calipers I purchased online from a guy in Canada of all places. It cost me about $1,000 delivered, so these are getting a little bit expensive. It's become quite a popular mod. These ones are pretty much brand new, so it wasn't a bad buy for the money, I didn't think. I will be running a set of these with a set of these. So these are the, spin that around. These are a set of the latest DBA 5000 rotors. These are the version 2s that just come out. I'm not 100% sure what the difference between a version 2 and a version 1. I know the bolts seem to be different than the image on the front of their packaging. I did contact DBA just to ascertain what the differences were, and they never got back to me, so no idea at this point. But I was told by Chris at Wollongong Auto Supplies, where I bought these from, that these were the latest version 2s, so we'll see how we go. I was looking at Performance Friction and Project Moo and a few of the other rotors around, but these cost me a good deal under $1,000 through Wollongong Auto Supplies, so these are a pretty cheap option for a 2-piece rotor. So I just went with these. This is for road use only. See how they go. I think that'll be fine as it is. What I'm currently running is just the standard 4000 single piece one, so there's going to be an improvement over those. Yeah, so we'll see how we go. So the job basically entails taking off the front calipers. What I'll have to do that is I'll have to bleed the brakes, and to do that job I've also trying out this setup here. I'm going to keep this camera on me, and I just wanted to flick over there. Let me just rotate this back up. Sorry about that. So this is a eBay cheapie, $18 I think it cost me. Brake bleeding power bleeder. So basically it plugs into my compressor. This sits up on top of the reservoir for the brake fluid, and you fill this up. Yeah, and then you basically suck out the fluid through the nipples on the calipers. So this will be another thing I'm trying out during this job. Hopefully that'll work okay. Pretty cheap thing for 18 bucks, so we'll see how it goes. It does definitely work. I've hooked it up to the compressor already, so let's see how that goes. Yeah, so wheels off, drain the fluid out with this thing out of the reservoir, suck all the fluid out of both the back and front brakes and the clutch. I'm going to pull all the fluid out of the car. Drill out those two, take the front calipers off, the 9 calipers off, drill out those 2 holes to 14mm, and also the guard, the heat guard that goes behind the rotor to 14mm, and bolt up the new calipers. Now the bolts I've got, actually I bought the OEM bolts from Sanjeet down at SSM in Adelaide. did find it a bit difficult. I was actually talking online a little while ago about just using grade 8.8 bolts. So the OEM bolts are grade 10 bolts. I wanted to get grade 10 bolts. They're a 32 mil long, 1.5 pitch grade 10 bolt it's a flanged headed bolt. I could not find those anywhere. I looked around. As close as I could get was like 40 mil. Would have had to cut them down, which was fine. But the price for 4 of those posted to me from Bolt Fastener Supplier Place was pretty much the same as Sanjeet charged me for the OEM bolts. So I just went with OEM bolts. So yeah, you need the 4 14 mil bolts obviously if you don't come with the kit. Yeah, so I'll drill those out to 14 mil, hook these up. I'm going to use Liquid Intelligence 318C brake fluid, which I reckon is a really good brake fluid. So I'll be installing that, and I'm not too sure about the pads yet. I've got a set of EBC yellows in the front of this thing now, which are probably still good. We might have 60%, I'm 40% wear, 60% left. I'm going to see if I'm just going to use those again. I'll sand them down so they're nice and smooth to start on the new rotor. If not, I've also got another set of EBC yellows I purchased, brand new ones, so I'll just see how they look. And I'll be using some anti-squeal and stuff in that as well when I put it all back together. Yep, so that's about it. I think probably the pinch point, the difficult bit, we're getting those holes drilled out for 14 mil. I might be overthinking it a bit, but I have read online, a few of the guys in the States that do this with chipping drill bits, trying to drill through it. No idea why, maybe I'm going really fast or not using enough lube, but I'll be doing those. If that doesn't work out, we'll have to kind of maybe pull the hubs and take it to someone to drill it out for me, but I don't think it'll be that difficult with my drill bit I've got. Yeah, so that's about it. I'll see how we go as we're traveling along. Okay, thanks guys, bye. Okay, so brakes are bled in the clutch. This is just in the front driver's side calipers off now. So this is the difference between a Evo 9 rotor and an Evo 10 rotor. So you can see it's essentially bigger diameter. Obviously it's 350 across compared to 320, so that's likely to be the case. And back here is the 2 calipers, so they're very similar. There's not a lot of difference between the two. The closest, the only real big difference is the attachment points here on the far left there. You can see are quite a bit longer than the ones on the Evo 9 on the right hand caliper. So that's how you get that extra 30 mil across diameter, or diameter rotor in there. Anyway, that's it. So we'll keep going. I'm going to go and do some drilling after I touch my camera. Okay, thanks guys. Okay, so brake calipers off, rotors off. These are the 2 holes here and down here that need to be drilled out. So that's the original. If you can see that there, that's the original bolt, 12 mil, and that's the new bolt, 14 mil. So everyone knows what a bolt looks like, but pretty big bolt, quite a bit thicker than the OEM ones on the 9. So yeah, so then you've got also to drill out this guard. So that obviously just sits in behind here, 10 mil bolt. And that's designed just to, that one goes that way, designed to, I assume, protect the ball joints and stuff from heat from the brakes. So these two holes on here, that one there and the one down the bottom, also need to be taken out to 14mm. Don't think that'll be such a problem, but these holes might be. So we'll see how we go. So I've got my drill, so I'm going to use a cutting fluid, and also I'm going to put a bit of grease on the drill bit. It goes real slow with the speeds. This one will crawl along pretty slowly, which is what I'll be doing. Yeah, and just kind of wind your way through to make sure there's nothing in behind there that you're going to also drill through the brake line. Okay, so we'll see how we go. Might be time for some time lapse. And that was hole number 2. Okay, so that's done. Yeah, bit of a pain in the ass, but it wasn't too bad. It went through okay. Just keep a lot of lube on there, bit of grease on there, and yeah, chews through pretty quick. Okay guys, I'll probably turn it off now and I'll come back to you. I'll do the other side and hook up some calipers and see how it looks. Okay, thanks guys. Yeah, okay, so pretty much that's it. So that's the setup there with the rotor and the new caliper on there. Yeah, so pretty straightforward really. Drilling out was probably the scariest bit, but it wasn't anything to be too worried about. Just get a good quality drill bit and go slow, use a lot of lube, a lot of cutting fluid and stuff on there. Try to keep your speeds down, don't let it get too hot. You don't want to work hard on the things you're drilling out, the tabs you're drilling out, because you'll never get through them. An alternative might be to take them out of the car, the hubs, and take them to somewhere and do it, but realistically there wasn't too much to worry about there. So do the other side, hook up the brakes, the brake pads I will have a look at, and the old calipers to see if I'm going to reuse those or go with the new set. Probably go with the new set just because new brakes. I guess that's it, so we'll see how it goes. I'll come back with another video talking about the if there's any noticeable advantage with this new system. Again, probably for the road, there's probably going to be minimal advantage. People talk about it being a bit easier to modulate the brakes, work out where the lock-up points are and stuff. Work out where the ABS point is there when that comes on. So whether that's the case or not, we'll see. Advantage for me is I don't think I'll have to run spacers anymore. I was running a 5mm spacer to, sorry, 5mm probably, yeah, probably 5mm to clear my my wheels. I've got tracers, but I don't think that'll have to be used because this caliper just moves that further forward, so it's into the area where the spokes are a bit wider. So that's an advantage. Disadvantage, there's a few things that are disadvantage. One main one is that you need to run 18-inch wheels. So it'll, I do anyway, and most people probably who have aftermarket wheels would, but if you're running 17-inch wheels, it's not really a viable option. It's one of those things that you will probably If you're tracking your car and stuff, more likely than not you'd be running 18-inch wheels anyway. But if you're running 17s, you'd have to go through a more traditional big brake kit, like one of the better ones, like the APs or something like that. I mean, this is, they say, a poor man's big brake kit. I guess that's what it is. All up, $1,000 for the calipers. I mean, another $1,000 for the two front rotors, but they're consumable, so I don't really count that because they wear out basically. So you're replacing them at some point anyway. Pretty cheap. I think you're probably looking at, for something like a AP 5000s, whatever they're called, the fancy ones, you're looking at $5 or $6 grand for those. So it's a lot cheaper, but obviously it's not as good. These brake calipers aren't as stiff as those ones, and there's probably a better feel to them. But it does give you a 350mm rotor, and the benefits that brings for fairly cheap, fairly low amount of money. So. And not too much work. Yeah, so I will talk to you guys all next time, and I'll do a bit of a report in the next video about if I can notice any difference. I just actually stopped raining for 5 minutes. I'd be able to go out and drive my car, but we'll see how we go. Okay guys, have a good day, and I'll talk to you all later. See ya. Hey guys, just further to the last video. So 2 days have gone past since I shot all that footage. It has not stopped raining since then. Some of the heaviest rain that's occurred in the area for like 15 years or something stupid. So I haven't been able to get out, but the brakes are installed. No real issues. As I went over the last few kind of clips I made, it all went together pretty well. Did need to use the spacers now, so that's an advantage. So yeah, so they bolted up all very well. So again, I'd like to thank Wollongong Auto Supplies for the supply of the rotors for a good price. If you do need anything for your car, they're worth a call for sure. Speak to Chris or Matt, the owners, and they'll look after you for sure. Good company to deal with, very quick. I ordered these things on Friday afternoon, these rotors, and I had them Monday morning. So yeah, pretty good. Sanjit from SSM Motorsports for the bolts. Again, got them to me in a few days, has them in stock, has a good kind of supply of stock in place there, so you won't miss out. Well, you should be able to get what you need most of the time, I would think. Yeah, so I'll just show you the finished job. I'll just spin this around. So that's what they look like all installed. They feel like the row wheel to a greater degree than the CT caliper and rotor, the 320 rotor. But yeah, all came together very well. So like I said, I will attempt to get out. I've got to break these in or bed them in, which will take a bit of driving quick and slowing down quick. I won't be able to do that until this rain stops, which might be in about 5 months' time, going on how much rain we've been having lately. I think we've had our yearly rain in about, I think it's been something like 3 months or something like that, so it's pretty mad. Let's get this back up. Yeah, so that's about it. Got any questions, put it up in the comments. I'll attempt to answer that if you're interested in this mod yourself. Like I said, probably the difficult thing, most difficult things, one is getting the actual calipers. It's become quite a popular mod, so they're a bit thin on the ground. And secondly, just drilling out those tabs to 14mm. Wasn't really a problem. Just that last kind of mil or so when the drill bit kind of broke through the other side, it kind of grabbed a few times. You'll see in the video, it kind of stops the drill a few times. Just got to put a little bit more speed on that last bit to punch through there. But other than that, not a problem at all. Drilling out the guard that sits in behind there, just stuck on a piece of wood and drilled through it and went through like butter. So that wasn't an issue. Like I said, a 14mm drill bit. I think you can use 9/16 as well, which is 14.3. Both of those will do the job. I think the Yanks use the 14.3mm to 9/16 because that's what they can get their hands on. So yeah. Anyway, again, I will make another video down the track at some point when I get these things out on the road, this car out on the road. Hopefully we'll get some clear weather for a bit and I'll get out and go for a drive. The roads are just falling apart around here. You Can't believe how bad they are. There's holes and just roads have all washed away. Half the mountain passes are all closed around here, so it's a little bit limiting to what I'm going to be able to do, but we'll go from there. Okay guys, thank you very much, and I will talk to you all next time. See ya.